Stop everything. This is not a random occurrence on your feed. It is a divine interception of your current trajectory. You are being reached because the cosmic clock has struck a midnight you weren't prepared for. You are a chosen one, and the briefing you are about to receive is classified for the ears of those whose souls were forged before the foundations of the world. There is a hidden war raging in the unseen realms over your timeline, and while you have been distracted by the mundane, the enemy has been attempting to lock the gates of your destiny. You feel that crushing weight in your chest? That is not mere anxiety, it is your spirit screaming that you are behind schedule. You are late, dangerously late, to the post you were assigned to man. But do not succumb to despair, for the architect of time has paused the gears of the universe specifically to allow this transmission to reach you. Listen closely. Your awakening is no longer a luxury. It is a requirement for the survival of your bloodline's purpose. Chosen one, like this video, subscribe, and comment, "I am ready," for a powerful surprise. The interruption. You must freeze where you are. This is a direct command from the realm of the spirit to cease the endless, numbing cycle of scrolling and consuming. Your hand was guided here because a celestial emergency broadcast has been issued in your name. This is a non-random, time-sensitive intervention designed to pull you out of the hypnotic trance of the world. You have been operating under the illusion that you have forever to become who you were meant to be, but the portals of opportunity are beginning to narrow. The atmosphere around you is thick with the smoke of a battle you haven't fully acknowledged yet. You have felt the phantom alarms going off in your soul for weeks, perhaps months. That persistent nagging ping in your spirit telling you that something is wrong, that you are missing a mark, that you are drifting further away from the center of your calling. You are late. Let that truth sit in the air until it burns away the complacency that has kept you stagnant. You have allowed seasons to pass while you sat in the waiting room of someday. However, there is a mystery at work here. Even though you are late by the standards of the natural world, the Creator has placed his hand upon the gears of the planetary alignment to create a pocket of grace. He has paused the timeline specifically for this briefing. This is not a permanent pause, but a momentary calibration. That pressure you feel, that internal destiny alarm that keeps you up at night, is a spiritual notification. It is the sound of the heavens trying to sync your physical body with your spiritual assignment. You have been running on an outdated clock, measuring your life by the rising and setting of a sun that doesn't govern your true home. This video is your calibration point. If you ignore this frequency now, the drift will become a disconnect. The anxiety you feel is not a sign of failure. It is the evidence that your destiny still recognizes you, even if you have momentarily lost sight of it. You are not disqualified, but you are being summoned to the front line immediately. The time for wandering is over. The time for the mission has begun. The hidden pressure. Why do you think the night feels so heavy lately? You lie awake while the rest of the world sleeps, your mind racing through corridors of what-ifs and not-enoughs. This restlessness is not a medical condition. It is a symptom of a massive shift in the spiritual seasons. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us that to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. The pressure you feel is the friction of your old season trying to hold on to you while the new season is already pulling you forward. Your reality has not yet updated to match the spiritual software that was downloaded into your spirit months ago. You are living in a lag, and that lag is becoming toxic. Ignoring this alarm is the most dangerous thing a chosen one can do. When the call to move is issued and the servant remains seated, the very grace that once protected them begins to feel like a fire. You are being cooked in the pressure of your own potential because you are refusing to pour it out into the world. This pressure is compounded by the comparison wound, a jagged tear in your psyche caused by watching others seemingly pass you by. You see people who started after you reaching milestones you haven't even approached. You feel forgotten, as if the divine eye has blinked and lost track of your location. But listen to the wisdom of Psalm 37 verse 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Comparison is the ultimate destiny thief. It forces you to measure the construction of a skyscraper against the assembly of a tent. A tent can be put up in an hour. It is flimsy, temporary, and offers little true shelter. But you are being built as a monumental structure. A skyscraper requires deep, agonizing excavations. It requires months of digging in the dark, moving dirt and rock where no one can see, establishing a foundation that can support the weight of the glory that is coming. The world sees the fast growers and applauds, but the heavens are watching the deep-rooted builders. Your delay is not a sign of inferiority. It is a sign of scale. You are being built to last for generations, not just to trend for a weekend. The pressure you feel is the weight of the steel being forged in your soul to support the height of your calling. The delay redefined. There is a profound revelation in the life of an oak tree. It does not compete with the weeds that spring up overnight. The weed grows 3 feet in a week and dies in a month. The oak tree spends its first years establishing a root system that mirrors its future canopy. Isaiah 60:22 declares, "I, the Lord, will hasten it in His time." Notice the paradox. God hastens it, but only in His time. This means that what looks like a standstill to the human eye is actually a period of intense spiritual acceleration. Your delay has been a form of divine protection. Had you been elevated to the throne when you first asked for it, the weight of the crown would have snapped your neck. You were not ready for the demons that live at the altitudes you are destined to inhabit. God used the delay to build your lung capacity for the thin air of greatness. He used the delay to strip away the fair-weather friends who would have betrayed you at your peak. However, you must discern the architecture of your waiting. There are 2 types of delay, and your survival depends on knowing which one you are in. Divine delay is characterized by a strange, supernatural peace amidst the waiting. It is a period of intense preparation where you feel the muscle of your character being built. It is a holy cocoon. Demonic delay, on the other hand, feels like heaviness, confusion, and a bizarre, unyielding resistance against every positive step you take. It is a spirit of almost there, but never quite. It is the fog that rolls in every time you decide to get serious about your purpose. While divine delay builds you, demonic delay seeks to wear you down until you abandon the mission altogether. You must recognize that the enemy uses the clock as a weapon, whispering that you are too old, too tired, or too far behind to ever catch up. This is a lie from the pit. The enemy cannot stop the sun from rising, but he can try to convince you to keep your curtains closed. You must distinguish between the Father's "not yet" and the enemy's "never." The enemy's methods. The enemy's primary weapon against the chosen one is the exhaustion trap. Have you noticed how you have endless energy for distractions, for scrolling, for the problems of others, but the moment you sit down to work on your true destiny, a supernatural fatigue washes over you? You feel a sudden, inexplicable brain fog. The words won't come. The plan feels too complex. The bed feels too inviting. This is not laziness. This is 1 Thessalonians 2:18 in action. We would have come unto you, but Satan hindered us. The enemy places a localized field of heaviness around your destiny-related tasks. He wants you to believe you are just not a morning person or that you lack discipline, but in reality, he is trying to drain your battery before you can hit the launch button. Every time you attempt to step forward into your power, he triggers a spiritual resistance meant to make the path of least resistance, mediocrity, look more attractive. Furthermore, there is the comfort zone curse. The enemy has spent years teaching you to be addicted to your own struggle. You have become so accustomed to being the survivor, the underdog, and the one who barely makes it, that chaos has become your emotional home. When things start to go too well, you subconsciously self-sabotage because peace feels foreign and threatening. You have integrated the trauma of your past into your identity, and the enemy uses that survivor label to prevent you from becoming a builder. To break this, you must undergo a radical identity shift. You are not a victim of time. You are a commander of it. You are not here to merely survive the spiritual war. You are here to win it and claim the spoils. The mental resistance you feel is like a thin paper wall, painted to look like a mountain. The moment you push through that initial fatigue, the moment you force your mind into focus, the light of your calling burns through the resistance. The enemy only guards the doors that lead to his defeat. If you are facing immense resistance, it is because you are standing at the threshold of a breakthrough that will dismantle his kingdom in your bloodline. The wrong direction problem. Many chosen ones find themselves in a storm, not because the enemy is attacking, but because they are fleeing. This is the Jonah complex. You know the calling. You know that deep, resonant voice that has told you exactly what you need to do, where you need to go, and what you need to leave behind. Yet, you have been remarkably busy doing everything else. You have substituted obedience with busy work. You are doing things for God instead of doing the thing God told you to do. Jonah found himself in the belly of a whale because he thought he could outrun a divine assignment. If your life currently feels like a series of crashing waves and persistent storms, ask yourself, am I running toward Nineveh or away from it? These storms are not demonic. They are corrective. They are the universe's way of making your wrong direction so uncomfortable that the only option left is to turn back. Your destiny is patient, but it is not passive. It waits in the opposite direction of your fear. You have been running towards safety and predictability, but your purpose is located in the very place you have been avoiding. The transportation fish, the vehicle of your deliverance, often looks like a catastrophe at first. Jonah being swallowed by a giant fish looked like an ending, but it was actually a divine submarine designed to take him exactly where he needed to be. When you finally surrender, when you stop fighting the direction you are called to, God redeems the years you spent running. He overrides natural timelines. He can take you from the belly of the whale to the shores of your destiny in a fraction of the time it took you to run away. Time compression is a real spiritual law. When a chosen one aligns their will with the divine will, the lost time is not just recovered, it is magnified. The storm ends the moment the heart yields. Time revelation. You must understand the difference between Chronos and Kairos. Chronos is the chronological time you see on your watch, the ticking seconds that tell you you're aging and that you're late. But Kairos is the appointed time, the opportune moment. Chronos is quantitative. Kairos is qualitative. You may have lost Chronos, but you cannot lose Kairos if you are in alignment. Think of a pregnancy. For 9 months, nothing seems to be happening on the outside. There is no visible productivity. But inside, a miracle is being assembled cell by cell. If the baby were delivered in the 3rd month to satisfy the timeline of the world, it would be a tragedy. Your productivity has been unseen, but it has been vital. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Your time is a Kairos moment that is about to intersect with your Chronos reality. We are entering the power of suddenly. In the scriptures, people like Joseph spent years in prison, thousands of days of Chronos delay. But in one Kairos moment, he was called before Pharaoh, and by sunset, he was the second most powerful man in the world. He didn't climb the corporate ladder. He was teleported to the top because of his preparation during the delay. One divine idea, one random meeting, or one chance encounter is worth more than 10 years of striving. You have been trying to win through effort, but you are about to win through appointment. Visualize a dam that has been holding back a massive reservoir of water. To the observer, nothing is happening. The dam is just sitting there, but the pressure is building. When the first crack appears, the release is not a trickle. It is a flood that reshapes the entire landscape in minutes. That is how your breakthrough will look. You are not behind. You are just at the moment before the dam breaks. The ancestral lag. Sometimes the weight you are carrying is not even yours. You are dealing with ancestral lag. You were born into a bloodline that has been in a spiritual deficit for generations. You are not just fighting your own procrastination. You are fighting a multi-generational momentum of fear, poverty, and playing it safe. Exodus 34:7 speaks of the iniquity of the fathers being visited upon the children. This isn't a curse you can't break. It's a spiritual debt you were assigned to settle. You are the cycle breaker, and that is why your life feels 10 times harder than the people around you. You are carrying the luggage of your ancestors while trying to run a race. No wonder you feel late. You've been running with lead in your shoes. You must realize that the enemy uses these inherited patterns to keep you in a state of perpetual delay. He wants you to think that this is just how our family is. But as a chosen one, you have been given the authority to sever these cords. You are the point of divergence in your family tree. The moment you recognize that your fear of success is actually your grandfather's fear, or your scarcity mindset is actually your mother's trauma, you gain the power to drop the weight. There is a cord cutting that must happen in the spirit. You must visualize yourself stepping out of the old skin of your lineage and into the new raiment of your divine identity. Your energy is being restored the moment you refuse to carry what is not yours. You are not late because of your own faults. You were delayed by the gravity of a bloodline that didn't want you to fly. But those chains are brittle now. One surge of your true power will shatter them forever. The purge. To move at the speed of light, you must lose the weight of the dark. We must conduct a people audit. There are heavy people in your life, those who may not be evil or mean, but they are energetically dense. They pull you back into old conversations, old mindsets, and old habits. They are anchors on your ship. 1 Corinthians 15:33 warns that evil communications corrupt good manners, but in the spiritual realm, it goes deeper. Limited people corrupt unlimited destinies. You are contaminating your energy field by allowing people with delayed timelines to have a seat at your table. You cannot fly with people who are committed to crawling. You need to visualize a boundary of white light around your destiny. Anyone who does not vibrate at the frequency of your future must be released with love, but without hesitation. Furthermore, look at your environment. Your physical space is a direct reflection of your internal state. Objects can act as energetic portals. Clutter in your home is literally stuck energy that manifests as delayed timelines. If you want a breakthrough in your life, you must create a vacuum for it to fill. Clear your space. Throw away the relics of your past failures. Delete the messages that keep you tethered to who you used to be. Every piece of junk you remove from your environment is a signal to the universe that you are ready for the new. You are clearing the runway for your destiny to land. If your environment is chaotic, your breakthrough will be diverted to a clearer location. Purge your surroundings to invite the divine order. The focus law. The enemy's most effective strategy in this hour is not to make you bad, but to make you distracted. This is the laser principle. A 100-watt light bulb can barely light up a room, but a 100-watt laser can cut through steel. The difference is focus. You have been spreading your energy across 50 different interests, side hustles, and worries. You are a light bulb trying to be a sun. Luke 10:42 tells us that one thing is needful. You have been cumbered with much serving, busy with 1,000 things that don't move the needle of your destiny. The enemy loves your multitasking because it ensures you never go deep enough in any one area to strike oil. You must identify the one assignment. What is the one thing that if you did it, would make everything else unnecessary or easier? That is your North Star. Everything else is a decoy sent by the kingdom of darkness to ensure you arrive at the end of your life having done a lot of things, but none of the thing. The spiritual war is a war for your attention. If the enemy can control your eyes, he can control your feet. You must develop a holy ruthlessness with your time. Say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. When you focus your energy into a single point of intention, you create a spiritual heat that melts through all opposition. The late feeling disappears when you are on the right track, because on the right track, every step counts for a mile. Divine acceleration engine. We are now engaging the surrender protocol. It sounds counterintuitive, but to speed up externally, you must slow down internally. When you strive, you are using your own limited human fuel. When you surrender, you hook your life up to the divine acceleration engine. Amos 9:13 describes a time where the plowman shall overtake the reaper. This is a supernatural folding of time, where the planting and the harvest happen simultaneously. This is what you are stepping into. You have been worried about the years the locusts have eaten, but Joel 2:25 promises that God will restore those years. He doesn't just give you new years, he goes back into the past and refunds the time you lost. Imagine a refund for your wasted 20s. Imagine a refund for the years you spent in that dead-end relationship or that soul-crushing job. God is a master of the retroactive blessing. He can pack 30 years of progress into 3 months. You must claim this restoration. Stop apologizing for being behind. Stop telling people you are starting over. You are not starting over. You are starting with experience and with divine backing. Visualize God taking the wheel of your life. Your job is no longer to steer. Your job is to maintain the frequency of faith while He navigates the shortcuts you didn't even know existed. The acceleration is not about you running faster. It's about the ground moving under your feet by the power of the Spirit. The 11th hour worker. Consider the parable of the workers in the vineyard from Matthew 20. Some started at dawn, some at noon, and some at the 11th hour, the very end of the day. When it came time to pay, they all received the same wage. The world says you get paid by the hour, but the kingdom says you get paid by the covenant. Your late arrival does not diminish your full reward. In fact, those who arrive late often carry a level of gratitude and intensity that those who have been there all day lack. Your lateness has produced a hunger in you that is your greatest asset. Shame is the lead weight that keeps you from running. The enemy wants you to feel so ashamed of your age, your past mistakes, or your perceived delays that you don't even try. He wants you to think, the ship has sailed, but you are the one who calls the ship. The wage of your destiny is determined by grace, not by the clock. You are not being docked. Pay for the time you spent lost in the woods. The Father is standing at the gate, not with a stopwatch, but with a robe and a ring. Remove the shame of lateness now. Breathe in the truth that in the Spirit there is no too late. There is only now. You are stepping into the vineyard at the perfect time to witness the greatest part of the harvest. The final warning is this: do not look back. Remember Lot's wife. She was being rescued from destruction, but she was so attached to her past that she turned into a pillar of salt, a monument to what used to be. Nostalgia is a form of spiritual sabotage. You cannot move into the accelerated future if you are constantly visiting the graveyard of your before. You must burn the bridges to your old identity. If you leave a path back to your comfort zone, you will eventually take it when the acceleration gets intense. Burn it all. I decree over you right now, the spirit of delay is broken. The chains of ancestral lag are shattered. I declare a divine acceleration over your finances, your mental clarity, and your relationships. I call forth your destiny helpers, those who have been stationed along your path to hand you the keys you need. They are waking up now, feeling a sudden urge to find you. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. This briefing is now sealed in your spirit. The 117 and the 777 frequencies are aligning for your favor. You are no longer late. You are right on time. The transmission is complete, but the activation has only just begun. As you step away from this briefing, the world may look the same, but the underlying code of your reality has been altered. You are now moving in a Kairos pocket. The destiny clock has been reset. Do not be surprised if things begin to shift with alarming speed over the next 72 hours. People will fall away, opportunities will manifest out of thin air, and that heaviness will be replaced by a terrifying, beautiful momentum. You were warned that it was an emergency, and it is. The window is open, but it does not stay open forever. Go now. The war is still raging, but for the first time, you are actually on the field. The question is no longer when, but how far are you willing to go? The next move is yours, chosen one. We will be watching for your signal.